Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live night. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in ages, but I also feel like I've seen you recently. A lot has happened in between the last couple of lives. So welcome. If you missed me and you're watching it replay and you were wondering how to find me next time, I do have a link tree in the description down below, as well as the link directly to my website where I have all of the events kind of outlined in the calendar days, so you know exactly when I'm going to be live. I also on there I just remembered something I needed to add to it, but I also have our member live nights, which you can sign up through on Patreon. And as well, with that, we also have like psychic game nights as well through the Patreon. So if you sign up there, you're going to get a live night basically every week with me. So if you enjoy those live nights, come on over and join us. We've got something going on pretty much every week in Patreon, or between Patreon and this. So, and let's see. Oh, I need to set my timer for our members tonight. So whoever's a member and comments closest to when this timer goes off, they will get a free reading tonight. Okay, so that's started. And tonight we're going to talk about Leo season. I've got some cards already pulled for that. I went ahead and did like pick a card piles tonight. I have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. So you can kind of suss it out while you wait, figure out which one kind of feels most for you, kind of just looking at advice for the next month. Yay, you made it. And really quick before we jump into our kind of group reading and then individual readings, I like to do a few announcements. First one being, we have a new deck tonight. I feel like I always have new decks, but this one is Seasons of the Witch, and it's the Beltane Oracle, and I'm super excited to read with these. Basically, I didn't buy this. I actually swapped it out. I kind of did just like a tarot cleanup of my like table back here, and ones that I was like, you know what, I haven't even touched these. I'm not going to read them anytime soon. They're just like not my go-to. I kind of went onto a Facebook group and swapped in like other decks, and this one really caught my eye, and it's based on Beltane, which is spring equinox. And if you've watched my Sabbath videos, you'll know which one this is. And I absolutely love it because all the imagery is very similar to everything that you would have learned kind of in my Sabbath video. I'm sure I did not cover all of this, but like we have the Oak King, which I did talk about, flower crowns, which you probably saw some people wearing in my Sabbath video. We also talked about the Fae and their importance for the spring equinox. And you guys will see these cards tonight. I'm kind of obsessed with them. They still haven't beat out my color tarot project tarot cards, but there's some really pretty imagery in here. I'm just trying to see. Obviously the bee is like a huge symbol of the spring equinox. So obviously we're a little late to the game with these. We're already in summer. Our next Sabbath is actually going to be next weekend, so I'm going to be filming for that. You guys won't see it for a while. And that is Lunasa. I finally figured out how to say it, which is also Llamas. It's kind of another one of those in-between Sabbats. We'll probably talk about it at our next live night. So tonight, though, we're going to focus on Leo season. I don't know a whole lot about Leo season other than I'm really excited to learn about it. I've basically been learning about each of the signs as we go through them because I think it's a lot easier while it's happening to kind of understand what's going on. But let me know if you're a Leo, if you got Leo placements in your chart. Basically, Leos are ruled by the sun, so it's all about who I am, my personality, who I show myself to the world. They can be very confident, very like, I always think of them as the theater kids. They like to perform. They like to kind of show off. And there's good qualities and bad qualities to every sign. Bad qualities of Leo being like way too showy off, like overly confident, overly prideful. But I realized recently that like the majority of my family has Leo placements, which is very interesting. Hello, Karen. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I just got a notification on my phone that Amanda donated. Hang on, let me write that down, or else I'll forget by the time we get there. Yes, Leo here. Woohoo! But yeah, so this last season has kind of been Cancer's in hand. Why is this so dark? There we go. So that we've kind of been through Cancer season. It's been stressful. It's been emotional maybe for some of you. I feel like this last full moon kind of like cleaned stuff out for me. I think another reason why I'm like interested in all of this is I eventually want to do a video on it. I am going to have like a moon related video probably towards the end of the year. Next year I'd like to do maybe something astrology related, but still learning as I go. I'm getting off topic here. But Leo season is coming up, and I do feel like it's going to be a big shift in energy because we're going from being very emotional, very family oriented into maybe like having a boost of confidence to kind of just push us forward and give us a little bit of a different energy for the end of July through the end of August. So if you've been feeling it, if you've been feeling the emotions, hopefully starting tomorrow, maybe midweek this week, you'll feel a little bit different. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I wanted to do some more research on it, but I didn't get around to it today. I've basically been scripting all of my videos. I'm filming a new chunk of videos for you guys at the moment. Sorry, someone's screaming outside. And yeah, so I want to go ahead and poll. I forgot about my other announcements. Should I poll? Let's keep on the Leo track while we're at it. So I have a group reading, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. This is advice for you kind of over the next month. Again, like end of July, starting tomorrow till end of August. Hello, Priya. Thank you. Jana doesn't think she has. I don't have any either. I'm also learning. If you want to learn about how to read your chart, I highly recommend Astrology Made Easy by Yasmin Boland. I'm currently reading that, and it's very short, very quick, and I'm able to look at my chart and actually understand it for once. And I'm learning as I go. Let's see, Leo Moon and Leo Venus. Chiron went retrograde today, and I'm feeling it. Ooh, I'll have to pay attention to see if it affects me anyways. Or also, I should say, I've been feeling it. I know, poor Jana. Bunny in the house. Hey, Bunny. All right. So pile number 1, the advice that you guys need to know is... Ooh, I'm flipping over all my cards. Ooh, that is an interesting conglomeration of cards. Okay, so I did pull significators for this, and we have for pile number 1 for our group reading, last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. And so the energy of this next month might be more on the side of getting you to just like have fun. Think of the sun and the energy of, celebrating your successes, finding joy, finding optimism again. For pile number 1, you guys just need to find and connect to that place of joy. And how this is going to show up for you, I feel like you guys are going to be pretty in your heads, which makes sense, King of Swords. But I kind of feel like you guys won't be overthinking it too much. King of Swords, like this guy, he knows what he should be doing. He knows what actions to take. He's thought through the processes. He knows what plans he wants to enact, and he knows where he's going to move forward. And kind of what I'm hearing is like, you're going to be making a lot of decisions in the next month. They might not come to fruition next month, but you're going to be very in your head about sorting things out. Like, I really feel like this is like a mental cleanup of like, these are the boundaries I'm going to set at work. This is what I'm going to change up at home. This is how I'm going to, rearrange my furniture, whatever it is. But I definitely feel like you're going to be in your head making a lot of plans, making a lot of decisions that are great, like good. They're going to have a really good outcome in the future. But at the same time, you have to remember to like have fun in between while you wait. And then I got the moon card, which is interesting. Again, asking like how this energy is going to show up. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of moments where you feel like you don't know all the answers, or you don't know what's coming next, or maybe there's like something in your way or obstacles that are keeping you back, but it's actually like an illusion with the moon card. This is, this is that King of Swords maybe taking it a bit too far, and you're seeing the mirror, you're seeing kind of the reflection in the water, and it's not really what it is. So this is kind of saying, don't read into things too much. Don't get too caught up in trying to figure out all the ins and outs of things. There's really not much more meaning beyond the surface. So just lighten up. Again, like, just have fun with it. You guys are laying a great foundation over this next month. But don't second guess yourself. And then the card that I pulled, did I show you guys the backs of these? I love the backs of these. We got the moon and the bees, which are significant to Beltane. And for pile number 1, you guys got hand fastings. And I pull this card a lot. The pulse through all that I am. No hidden form is left untouched. I am willing, I am risking, for I yearn for unity spilled lustrously upon my lips. I think for some of you, this actually might be a change in relationships, or maybe a new relationship coming in because you're fun, because you're like setting plans in motion. And I'm kind of asking, because I don't feel like it's like romantic for everybody in pile number 1. I'm just going to pull the book on this, because that's what I also do on live nights, is I learn my new decks. And I've read it. I can't remember this one. Oh, yes. You don't have to go it alone. There's people that are here to help you. Really, this card is about partnership and unity. So, like, as much as you're making plans and having fun, make sure that if you need help, you ask for it. And maybe part of this lighten up is to bring other people into that fun and that joy and that excitement. Yeah, I do think I kind of am getting that it also is very specifically some of you who are wanting to manifest something romantic. I'm also hearing like deals, like if you want a deal to close, like, because this is about like agreements, arrangements. This might actually be the time where like something actually comes together, like contract wise, or if you're trying to get something finalized on paper. All right, so that was pile number 1. Pile number 2, group reading for this next Leo season, kind of what you need to know. And the significator that I pulled for this one is be humble. So pile number 2, we're a little bit more in the area of kind of the overzealous version of Leo. It's kind of the version of you where you're a little overconfident, maybe a little cocky, a little bit showy-offy. And so this is kind of a message about being humble, coming back to yourself. I love how my guides show me tarot cards in my head now. Like they're showing me the Hermit card, because apparently I didn't pull enough cards. And so I'm kind of getting like, I'm also hearing like, don't share your secrets. Like it's okay to keep things closer to your chest this next month. So humble isn't always about like you just being like a show off, because I think a lot of people aren't that way. But it could be just keeping things to yourself until they come to being. And then it's interesting because we got the Emperor in reverse and we got the 3 of Cups. Let me just pull this one. Ooh, and then the cow. Oh, it's so cute. Ooh, okay. And so with the Emperor in reverse, this to me is saying boundaries need to be set. Maybe that's why we're having a harder time with this kind of idea of being more humble. And like when I am hearing this card, it's more of like I feel like you're putting yourself out there too much because you don't know how to rein it in, because maybe your boundaries, maybe you're giving too much to everybody. And so you need to kind of like pull that energy back in. So be cautious of your boundaries over this next month, which is interesting because we got it with the 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups is about letting other people in emotionally, asking for help, asking for support, delegating, like doing things with other people. So there's this balance that needs to be struck of like, you need people to help you. You need to kind of like co-create some of the things you're trying to manifest, but you also have to have like good boundaries at the same time. This might be a big lesson in like asking for help, but not letting people in too much to where, they're micromanaging your life or micromanaging all your decisions, and you still feel confident and comfortable in your own decisions, and you're still kind of keeping things close to your chest. And I'm like seeing a tightrope. This is going to be a very fine line for you, pile number 2. And then the cow. May the embrace of all that is nurturing you awaken in all that you are becoming. And with this card, I really do feel like nurturing yourself is the key here. Making sure that you are constantly asking, what do I need? What do I want? So that you can step away, or so that you can ask for help, or just bring other people in to delegate more. But it all comes from this place of understanding what you need first. Or else, if you don't understand what you need, you might not ask when you need to, or you might pull away when you shouldn't be, if that makes sense. So I think when you guys find this fine line, this balance, I think you're going to realize, oh, wow, nurturing myself and just listening to what I need is going to create the reality that I want in the future. And it was just that easy. All right. And then pile number 3, you guys kind of got like the quintessential Leo season card. And with significators, it's like I pull cards ahead of time and say, hey, give me information surrounding this. I'll talk about it in the future in one of my upcoming videos. But new moon in Leo, shine. This is all about being that good version of the Leo, stepping out, you saying, hey, look at me, look at what I can do, celebrate your successes. We've got the sunflower here, which is also like a symbol of the sun. And let's see how this is going to show up. Yes, and yes, I love to see it. Ooh, okay. So we got the 5 of Swords in reverse. So this to me says like we're overcoming a lot of mental struggles. Pile number 3. You guys are really feeling like you're past the mental struggles, or maybe as you have them, they don't impact you as much. And what are these mental struggles? It's a lot. They're kind of saying generally it's the stuff you guys have been stressing out, especially like this year. And a lot of you, it might actually be money related. I'm also hearing grounding, especially with these colors both being green. You guys have maybe just not felt in control of your energy. Maybe even kind of like the root chakra, just your job, your home, the basic like needs put over your head. And so far this year, you guys have really been beating yourself up over it, and you've been going in circles. Maybe you haven't quite figured out how to handle it. But Leo season is the breath of fresh air that you guys need. Because then we have the 6 of Coins coming through, which is all about progress, like moving forward, especially when it comes to like our practical life. Again, job, money, roof over your head, career, finances, all of that good stuff. And this is like Mother Gaia coming in to like shower you with that abundance and kind of get you into that next step. And then the last card that I pulled for you, pile 3, I pulled Morning Dew, which is totally like a Beltane thing. I have that in my video. What stillness does the silence of one's steadiness bring? I just want to look at the book in this. Like I'm kind of feeling like this is saying like, for some of you, there might be a struggle of kind of inputting or what's the word I'm looking for? Enacting all the energy that we're talking about here. So it might require you to be more still, connect to that intuition. But for others, it's because you're already here. You're very understanding of like where you're at, where you need to be, intuitively what you need to do next. So that stillness is contributing to all this good stuff. And I think it's also saying that I'm just looking at this book, pause, like take a break, with this shine energy, it can be very like outwardly, it can be very yang, it can be very extroverted energy. So sometimes it might be good for you to just take a breath, come back to center, or else you might overdo it, pile number 3. Alrighty, you guys. So that was our group reading. I start each night with that just so that if you missed me, there's always something that you can watch replay. Just remember, though, if you join our Patreon, you're going to get even more readings, more live nights with me, more good stuff over there. And I've been getting this message a lot lately to keep things to myself and don't reveal things straight away. I'm glad it resonates. I love when that happens. All right. What's up, Leo family? I think I vaguely remembered that, Amanda. I was like, I think I know. Alrighty. That was a group reading. Welcome if you're just now joining us. Now we'll jump into individual readings. How that works is if somebody sends me a donation, I get to them first. You know, we kind of get to the top of the list. My timer stopped. Sorry, guys. I restarted it. And so Amanda paid already, so I will start with Amanda. You can send a donation through Venmo or through Super Chat, which is kind of like the YouTube thing in front of you. And we kind of just do individual readings until I get tired. And yeah, let's get started. So Amanda, I think this is your question. Let me just pull open Venmo. Okay. Okay, so Amanda is curious about what has been happening in her sleep. I don't want to say too much, but it's not just dreams. You know, I'm not great with words. Also, your meditation is dope. Night 4. Does that mean you've been listening to it for 4 nights? I'm glad so many of you have liked my meditation, and thank you for people who have given me feedback on meditations in the past, because it's taken me a couple meditations to realize how to make a good one, you know? But I will be making a lot more for my masterclass. In my masterclass, you're going to have a meditation per clair, per like chunk like of the class. Like I'm going to make a lot. And I'm about to film those following this chunk of filming. All right. So, like, Amanda, the immediate thing that I got is, like, you're definitely connecting with other people, other places. And they're wanting to validate that and say, yeah, that's absolutely, like, real. That's a thing. Trying to figure out, like, what question to ask. Well, you're just curious about it. So, yeah, let's just ask, what do we need to know about it? And then I'll ask why it's happening. What do we need to know about this? It's definitely about emotional fulfillment, possibly around relationships. Why is this happening, though? It's definitely like a message that is coming through that needs to be heard. And I think your guides are just trying to get your attention by giving you something that feels more real. It doesn't feel like your normal kind of dream where you're just like hanging out doing, you know, XYZ. It actually feels like you're somewhere else. And I feel like that's true. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how many of these cards I actually didn't have memorized. I'm pulling all the ones that I don't normally pull for myself. It's about belief. Why is this happening? It's getting you to pay attention to believing and trusting that you don't know everything in a lot of ways. Always provides no matter your circumstances, and Milk and Butter is here to remind you to lean on spirit for all of your needs. An intention given to the universe has no power if you do not believe it will be answered. What is this about? Because I pulled the Two of Cups. This to me kind of says that you needed more of a partnership. That, you know, and that's why this is happening. Maybe it's just a partnership with spirit. Maybe I'm kind of hearing like partnership maybe with like husband or like people in your life that are close to you that's kind of like forcing you to make some realizations that this needs to change in some sort of way. Because I think maybe you're realizing in a lot of ways things, tell me if I'm right here, but I kind of feel like with this King of Cups coming through, this is saying like you're maybe, and it was reversed, maybe you're just not happy with where you're at and you don't exactly know how to get there. Well, no, they're correcting me. They say you know how to get there, but right now you're seeing what could be and then what is. And it seems like such a far gap. And it's just like, what is going on? So with this milk and butter belief card coming through, I'm hearing it might be about something different than you think it is. So just like think about the theme, and then it might be about something completely unrelated. But the milk and butter card saying like, whatever this is that you want, like you can get there. You can make those steps in between. And then I have the 7 of coins. And I think there's going to be a lot of practical challenges in the future. I haven't pulled this card yet. There's going to be a lot of like, and his like heart is like pulled out of his chest. There might be some rough times in the future. And maybe you're also kind of seeing that in those dreams. I'm not sure. And I think because of that, it's like, it's scary. It's a little bit overwhelming because you're seeing the good, you're seeing the bad, you're seeing what could be. You know that like where you're at isn't the best, but you know what's needed to fix it. And overall, your guys are trying to say like, hey, it's doable. Everything is figure outable. I just want to pop down. Yes, I love it. Oh, thank you, Laura. Hang on one second. I'm reading Amanda. Okay, and since you donated a little bit more, I'll pull one last card. I'm going to ask what you should do about these dreams. No, don't lag. I've been having so many overheating issues this summer with this computer, y'all. It's like on its last leg. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. Like, I don't want to say it, but like this to me is like questioning your current relationship. If that's not what you were already thinking, like throw it in the trash. But I kind of feel like this is saying like a reevaluation of where you're at with your partner. Hang on, guys. I'm going to just turn on my AC unit so I don't lose you. Okay. I apologize. That might be super loud, but I can tell my computer's getting hot. So we're going to have to deal with the obnoxious AC unit. It's obnoxious to me. From what I've heard, you guys don't hear it quite as much. All right. I pulled that last card, correct? Yes. Okay. Oh, thanks, Alan. I always say when you see the braids, you know it's a bad hair day. Yes, Laura, thank you. If you donate, I will usually pull a card. I try to make it like equal to your donation. All right. I would love a card pull. Okay. Let's ask, what does Laura need to know right now? Why do I feel like I know you, Laura? I just like, my guides just told me like you know her. Maybe I don't actually, like I've never met you, but like, maybe they're trying to say spiritually. I don't know. I'm just getting like a very specific person in my head. I don't know. Okay, we're moving forward. Laura. No, let's do obstacles. Okay. So whenever somebody kind of just says whatever, I say, hey, what are we talking about? What do we need to know? And I got the Phoenix card, and I love the symbol of the Phoenix. It's about, the death rebirth cycle. You're moving out of one chapter and into another. Sometimes that can be stressful. Sometimes that cannot be, but really it's about rebirth and entering like a new phase. And I feel like that's what your guides want to talk about, Laura. And I asked, what are kind of the obstacles that are in your way? We're getting a lot of like emotion stuff tonight. Yeah. Oh, it's getting so hot. Maybe it's the book that I've got it on. Sorry, you guys. You'd think that like Mercury was in Gatorade right now, and that's why I'm having all these issues. Hang on. I realize my book. I keep my laptop on books so that it's. But I think I'm gonna have to not deal with the books tonight. I just don't like the angle. I don't like how much of my thing that you can see. This book is like hot. No wonder. Okay. Also, this is like one of my favorite series. It's like a young adult novel, but I really like it. It's called The Lunar Chronicles. If you like Disney and fantasy and like retellings of current stories. I think that winter book is not the first one, but Lunar Chronicles, if you're looking for book recommendations. Okay. So where were we at? Laura Phoenix. Some of the obstacles that are coming up though with this, I got 10 of Cups in reverse. And this is like, to me, it's feeling like you don't have this celebration, this excitement, these other people to kind of celebrate life with. Maybe that's just like a lack of friends or family supporting you. Or maybe it's that you're needing to kind of clean that house and you're clinging on to old people, and really letting go of them is kind of where you need to move next. I'm kind of feeling that more so. So let me ask how you can move forward into this energy. I kind of feel like this is coming in as confirmation of like, this is why things have been rough. This is maybe some of the things we need to let go of, but you're on the right path. Okay, and then I pulled New Moon in Aries. It's time to take action in reverse, meditate and contemplate. So the fact that we don't want to take any action and we want to meditate and contemplate, Laura, this to me says like, come back to you, stop searching for answers elsewhere, really sit, get in tune with yourself and what you need and what you want, what's no longer serving you, and make action steps towards kind of like getting rid of it. And that's how you're going to step into this next phase of like the next chapter, the rebirth of something. I kind of feel like it's with certain relationships in your life. So maybe in overall, a relationship evaluation is needed. All right. Thank you, Laura. That's right. Like other dimensions. Yeah, I was definitely like, I immediately got, it was like validate her that it's what she thinks it is. Ooh, this is for me. Yes, take it. Computer will work better. Yes. Okay. I feel like I know you too, but I don't think we've met. Yeah, I was wondering if like you knew this guy named Alex in high school. Like that immediately popped up. Like he was your brother. I don't know. You two are soul sisters. It's interesting because I've met some soul sisters and we are not friends anymore. Not saying that's a rule, but it happens. Really quick, 2 announcements that I never got around to making. One is that I am going to be throwing up some pre-made readings on my website. So there's already one up there, but basically I kind of realized, right now I only have readings that are just timed. Like you book a session with me, you come with questions, and that's it. So I know that sometimes you don't have questions, sometimes you don't have big pressing things going on in life, but you want to book a reading. So I'm kind of making these pre-made readings where it's like I figure out the questions for you. I kind of dive into one subject in particular to kind of give you an update, and then you just sit back and relax and kind of listen to the reading that I send. So right now, the only one that's up there right now is Lost Pets readings. And that's because I have done so many lost pet readings. And I think that's because so many other psychics do not do them. But I'm switching that to being like a audio recording only, but you're going to see a lot more pop up. I wish I would have brought my sheet. I have a bunch of ideas. I'll try to remember, but like one of them will be like a like loved one in spirit check-in. So like you send me a photo of your, grandma that you want to connect to, and you might not have any questions, but you want to know how she's doing. I come up with the questions, connect with them, and send you the reading. So that's like one idea that I have. I have like this whole list, but basically they're like pre-made readings because I realized a lot of it I put on you guys, and so I want to make some that are fun that you're like, I just want a reading from Lauren. I don't care what's going to happen. And so we'll dive into like a bunch of different things. Like one of them, dang it, I should make a dream one though. Like analyze my dream now that I think about it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I totally have like a list of like 10 of them. I just need to like put them up on my website. So if you're interested in those, keep an eye out. I will let you know on Instagram like when they're up. Again, there's like one up right now. I just need to like actually get in there and like type it up, make it a thing. But yeah, that was like my first announcement. Hang on, I need to add my psychic game nights also to my website. I'm in the middle of so many things, you guys. So many things. I can't keep it all straight on the calendar. Okay. And then, second announcement, really quick. If you guys like Chloe Taylor, if you follow her at all, like I'm a huge fan. I'm on her Patreon. She's got a YouTube as well, but she does like strictly like pick a card readings. Chloe, Kloee, and then Taylor. If you go over to her YouTube right now, she's got a Discord up, and she kind of made like a Discord for a bunch of people to join that are all kind of like-minded, that like psychic-y, witchy, astrology-related things. It's open to anybody. I double-checked because she like put it up to everybody on her public YouTube page. So if you go to her community tab, you can join the Discord. It's basically like social media where you can chat and hang out. That's not Facebook, and like you have forums and you can just talk. So if you're looking for that, I just wanted to share it because I think it's a really cool resource. I'm on there. I wanted to get on just to like make new friends. So I'm on there. Come on over, I guess. Don't say I sent you though, because like we're not supposed to be promoting ourselves, but I'm just on there purely to like make new friends. Anyways, that's there. I felt like it was a resource too that some of you guys might like. If you're doing that, please obviously go subscribe to her content, watch some of her videos, and support her in any way that you can. Alrighty. Okay. Gasp. Past life alert. Thank you, Jana. Okay. Jana is next. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say, you guys, but I got to meet Jana in person. It was so wonderful to meet one of you, like, in real life. And it's like, oh, these are real people. So it was wonderful. She was in town. It was great meeting her. Okay. I assume she sent a question. I'm going to look. Hotsy Totsy Old Apple. All right. I could have been just totally off on that, Amanda. Take it with a grain of salt. We'll send over Venmo. Let's see. Oh, and then we got Priya too. So Jana and then Priya. I'm just looking for Jana's question. Sorry. And then I guess that's Karen's question, and then she's gonna donate. Give us the link. I don't know if I have it, but if you like literally just go over to her YouTube, go to the community tab. There's a link right there. You can get in. All right. Thank you, Goldie. Okay, we have Jana, then Priya, then Goldie, and then still looking for Jana's. Okay, there it is. Can I have relationship advice with my husband, or if my guides don't want to talk about it, then general? Okay. Yes, I have to set aside anything I might know about that. Okay, overall advice. Let's start with that. Jana. And for those of you watching, I've prioritized the donations first, and then I jump to free readings. Like I'm trying to pull the cards apart to get like information, and like it's almost like sticky, slow energy. None of them want to pop out. That's probably just how it is energetically for you. I'm gonna have to read the book on this one. Okay. Ribbons. For it lives in the silk of my binding, the knots in my truth, the eye of becoming, the witness swallowed in stillness. I do not know what that means. Some of these are a little bit cryptic, but I like it. I'll just scan this really quick. You already know the answer to what you have inquired about. You are connected to your situation in a way that makes it clear what your next step should be. So follow the signs, or in this case, the ribbons, and allow the truth of your query to come to your consciousness. So advice, go with your gut, go with what you've been thinking. I will pull some other cards on kind of like clarifiers. I'm going to ask which direction you should move towards and which you should move away from. That's odd. So moving towards strength, finding that inner strength to maybe do what's hard. To be dependable on yourself. Like this is the inner strength from you, not necessarily finding strength out of others. And then I got, okay. And then I got the energy you should be moving away from. Like the King of Cups is a really positive card. So I was like, what? But they're kind of showing me avoiding the idealization of like this romantic, perfect, happy ending kind of like thing, if that makes sense. Like that's what the King of Cups is like so happy. Your life is manifested. It's like pure emotional fulfillment. But I kind of feel like your idea of that might be disillusioned. It might not actually look like this if you tried to pursue it. I hope that makes sense. Let me just pull. A time to give rather than take. But I pulled that in reverse. Honestly, if I'm not being clear, Jana, like I'm kind of getting to pull back your energy. Wait. Don't necessarily give in and do all of it. Like this requires two, and if it's not reciprocated, if you're not being given to, it's like don't sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm trying really hard not to like get my own bias in it. King of Cups is like the romanticized version of it might not exist anymore. So sit back, receive from your husband, and see what happens, and rely on this inner strength. But overall, wherever your gut was like kind of going first, I think that's the overall thing. And I think right now, I kind of feel like this is contradicting itself probably. I feel like what you think and what the advice was coming through for are two opposites. And I think it's probably just messing you up even more. And I think your guys are kind of saying like, that's on purpose because you're supposed to figure it out for yourself. You're supposed to do both. You're supposed to try, but a little bit. You're supposed to pull back, but a little bit. You're supposed to find this new balance with him to figure it out. But then it's also like not just jumping back into the old, but also not just jumping full throttle into the future without trying. I hope that makes sense. All right. Thank you, Jana. And then let's see. Interesting. I'm trying. I'm sorry, Jana. Winifred, I have a video on that if you don't want to wait. I do have like a spirit guide video. All right. So Priya was next on my list, and then we have Goldie. Okay, so Priya, I've applied for places for jobs. There is one I haven't heard back from that I really want. Is there something I need to know about that particular job right now? Are there any messages I need to know? Ooh, okay. Immediately, I kind of got like, the fact that you're holding on to it is kind of what's making it not move forward. Let me pick up the energy on it. Let's start with your first question. I don't know if you're in your head about like, I won't get it. I knew I was going to pull this card tonight. This is like the inappropriate card in the deck. But I'll show it anyways. It's Sex Magic, which is part of Beltane. It's like the fertility Sabbath. Obviously, the answer is not that you need to do this to manifest this job. But kind of what I'm getting is that, like, the way you look at this job, like, one day you're like, I can manifest this. I'm going to get it. You know, it's going to happen. And then another day you're like, it's not going to happen. I just need to start looking elsewhere. Like, I'm getting those, like, depressed, like, I'm not going to make it vibes. And you're doing this, like, 180 between the two, which is sending very mixed signals to the universe. And they're saying, by the way, it's whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So, like, just find contentment in the middle. It's almost like not putting the things you want on a pedestal to a point where you feel like you can't attain them. So really with this Sex Magic card, it is about saying, no, I can manifest that. You know, I don't have to do anything spectacular. I can just bring it in with my intention. And they're telling me what might help you not necessarily hold on to this idea so much of it needs to be this job is that even if it doesn't become this job, you're going to manifest something similar. So, you know, holding the intention that I am going to manifest something like this will be good, because then you're not getting in your head of like, oh, well, if it's this, it's nothing. Or if it's not this, it's nothing, if that makes sense. You're going to find something and it's going to work for you. Everything will work out in the end. But right now, just the energy of like, I don't deserve it. I do deserve it. I don't deserve it, I think is kind of hindering it from not happening. I'm just going to ask. I'm just going to ask if there's anything hindering it from like coming to fruition. And then I will ask like if this is going to come to fruition. Okay. So basically everything I just said, obstacles of it coming to fruition, you're too much in your head about it, you're going back and forth, 5 of Swords, mental struggle, it's like being in agony over decisions that you're trying to make. But then I have the Star, which is hope. Like, again, holding the vision for it to work, holding the vision that it will work. And saying, I am a magical being that I'm a magician. I can call in any energy that I want. It might not be this specific job, but it might actually be a job after that that's even better than this one that I thought I wanted. Like, that's what's coming through so strong, is like, even if it's not this one, your guides heard and they want to get you something that might even work better. And then I pulled the Hermit card, which is going inwards, you know, going inwards and asking, why am I so stressed out? Why am I, you know, fearful? Why am I kind of in this headspace? You know, maybe it's something somebody told you. It's kind of doing the shadow work so that you can release the anxiety around it, so you can further manifest it in. And then I wanted to ask, I just want kind of like a, is this going to be the right job or not? I don't know. I got full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. So this to me says like you're going to have an answer soon. But with eclipse energy, it might be a little bit chaotic. It might be something that you don't expect. I'm just hearing like this is a lesson in manifestation. What's holding? I just want to ask what's holding this up. And Priya donated a little bit more, which is why I'm going a little bit more in depth here. Okay. Why this is being held up is you're not being aware of the abundance and all the good things that are in your life right now. Like this girl sitting in the clouds, she's getting all these cups poured into her cup. The universe is giving her abundance, but she's looking the other way and it's spilling out. So to me, this is a message about gratitude, being grateful for where you're at, putting out the energy of abundance that I can, I have, I will. Because it's all about mindset and the energy that you're putting out. Which I know seems very like wooey and ethereal, but I think we don't realize how much that actually impacts what we can attract. And I'm believing in it more and more that some of this stuff is so mental and magical that it's hard to explain, because I feel like you have to really be in the belief system that your thoughts really can change your reality. Let me just bump down. Definitely in your head that you won't get it. Okay. And let me go through the rest of the questions that you had. Okay. Anything else she needs to know about that particular job? You know what? I want to pull from this deck. Take a reality check, full moon in Capricorn. To me, that's a reality check more with your emotions. Not that you can't have this, not that you can't manifest it. It's just, it's that hermit card of coming back to yourself, understanding why there's so many emotions around it. And then sometimes when you do that, it almost frees up the energy for it to happen. And then I also got practice gratitude. And this is the energy of like when you're grateful for what you have, you put out, I have. You put out, I have enough. I like where I'm at. And so the universe matches the energy that you put out. But if you're constantly in lack mentality, if you're putting out, I don't have, then the universe is going to be like, all right, send her more of that, So like, I hate to say, Priya, but this is a total like energetic mind game. Like I feel like it all comes down to your energy and whether or not you feel like you deserve this and if you can have it. But it's like balancing, knowing that if it doesn't happen, it's not going to throw you off your trajectory. You're going to just find a different thing. Denise Duffield Thomas made like such a great example. Like she really wanted to manifest like a dream house, or it was like a vacation or something like that. I can't remember. And she didn't let the rejections get in her way. She just said, I want a dream vacation. If it's not this one that I'm applying for, it's going to be another one. But if this one rejects me, I'm not going to let that throw me off of my game. I'm going to keep going for it and keep trying. So yeah, overall energy. I hope that makes sense. Pulling back, is there anything else Priya needs to know? Make this the last one. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Like you're going to get an answer soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like tomorrow. Hold your vision. Hold your vision of what you want. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But what is that vision? Is it a negative one or is it a positive one? I feel like that message was probably for a lot of you. So if you felt like it resonated, take it. All right. That was Priya. Okay, now we're back to Goldie. Thank you all for being here and donating. All right. I'm just gonna bump down to the comments. I'm back. I joined the Discord group. Yay, you'll have to find me. I'm like almost the same handle, just a psychic, instead of psychic, I just did PSY Lauren. That's because they don't allow any self-promotion, which is totally understandable. Do you have Zelle? I do, but it's associated with like my business and full name, so I can't give that out, unfortunately. I need to figure out a way to like do it so that it's not associated with my name. The old shadow work. Hello, Yurka. Hello, Rowan. I'm liking listening to all these readings. Thank you. I've got my homework to do. I've got to get out of my own. It's hard, Priya. I feel like I've been working on that same thing like the last 2 years, and I just am barely scratching the surface. All right, I'm just making sure nobody else donated their Venmo. Okay. Now back up to Goldie, and then we'll be caught up on our donated readings. Goldie. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Goldie. Thanks for being in Patreon, Goldie. I love seeing your messages. Especially because I've been so demotivated by Patreon. I had so many people, well, not really. I had 3 people drop off, and I really let it get to me in my head. Well, one of them left a really nasty review on the way out, and it like literally ruined my day for like 3 days. What would my guides like me to know about my current work venture? Do I need to branch out with a temp job for finances or just focus all the energy on this project? I'm immediately getting like a temp job might take up too much of your time and might distract you. If there's any other way you could make money, and like the equivalent is like asking family for help or taking out a loan, something that doesn't require as much energy, that might be like hard to come by. But I do think overall, like the yes of like, I don't think that this current project is going to pay out just quite yet. And I think what I'll ask, finances wise, where is this project at? Okay. So I just feel like all of these cards, I pulled past, present, future with kind of like the finances of this project. And I feel like in the past, it was so ethereal. There was nothing to nail down, that you weren't even quite sure how you were going to make money. That might still be a bit of an issue. So maybe defining it a little bit more is kind of the advice here. I also got the Page of Swords, which to me is saying like you need to come at it from some new avenues, just like making some decisions around how you would make money or like how it would all work. And I think that's another reason why it might not pay out quite yet. But the future card, I pulled the Hanged Man in reverse, and this to me kind of says you're going to have to look at it from a few different angles, and you might have to like switch it up and how it's working a little bit. So that's probably why it's not going to pay out as easily or quickly. It's almost like the whole foundation or the structure is just kind of not set in stone. And so it's going to be hard to make money come through when it's not quite like in existence, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, and I pulled what do you need to release? So I think there's just some things around that project that's not working. So, focusing on that first, will kind of free up anything that's in your way of those finances. And then your commitment is being tested. This might take a little bit longer than you might expect. And that's just because you're in it for the long game with this. And it's going to work, but there's a lesson of learning, like, it doesn't happen overnight. And the commitment part that's being tested is, can you stick with it even when it doesn't work right away, or even like a couple months afterwards? Pulling back again. What else does Goldie need to know? Tend to the details. Virgo energy. Another Virgo card. Take inspired action. Attend to the details. Take inspired action. Like I literally did this the other night. The energy is kind of like, all right, I know something's not working. I know I need to make money. I know this needs to happen. So I'm going to sit down, write out what's all not working. And then for each of those things that's not working, I'm going to make 1 or 2 action items on how I can change that up. And sometimes putting pen to paper can really push you forward and make you feel so much better. Or just, maybe you're feeling good and this is just them trying to give you advice on how to speed it up so that you can, start to make money off of this. There's a lot of details that need to be like hammered out. The fact, that's my timer. The fact that I got 2 Virgo cards to me says like you really need to come at it from a much more analytical standpoint. Okay, Karen commented closest. So Karen, you get the next reading. If you want to use that old question, I might just have you throw it up because I do not know where it is at this point. Going back up to Goldie's question. Okay. And Virgo is very much like detail oriented. It's not that the idea isn't there. It's not that your passion isn't there or that the dream or the vision is wrong. It's more just how you're going to execute it. Like, do you have a way to have people pay you? Like, do you have a business card? Like something like that. Those are kind of like the Virgo-y details, I would say. All right. That's probably equivalent to her donation. Thank you, Goldie. I hope that helps. You'll have to tell me if it works. Works out, I should say. Okay. Join the Discord group. I already read all these. Hello, Mind Hunger. Why do I feel like I know so many people tonight? I just feel like I'm like, oh, I know them. Got it, silly rabbit. I sent it over Venmo. Oh, okay. So Karen, you can have 2 readings tonight. If you donate and you also get the... I don't think I got it, Karen, but make sure you have the right handle. Hopefully you didn't send it to the wrong person. Yeah, I didn't get it, but if you figure it out, we can do both. But you do have the member reading. Oh, bummer. Sorry to hear that. By the way, I lost my other temp job a week ago from illness. Oh, no. That's why I had the other temp job. Yeah, and if I didn't make that clear, a temp job is still better than none, for sure. I'm so sorry someone wrote that. They don't have a clue. They got very grumpy that their $11 didn't get them more. And I'm like, all right, your $11 got you 4 or 5 videos a month. The amount of time that I put into those videos, filming and editing, way more than $11. You know what I mean? But I got over it. We're good now. Yes, another reading. At least my guides and I are getting so strong. Oh, you haven't pushed send. Okay. There we go. Got it. Okay. So what was your question then? That came down to them implying that I was asking for way too much, which sometimes I worry that I do, but then it was a really good lesson of me realizing, you know what? No, I can ask for compensation for the energy that I put out, and I needed to relearn that lesson, It all happens for a reason. Karen, I'm not sure. Oh, okay, I found your question now. Okay. So first question, we'll make this your donation question. You feel discouraged and unenthused, and I'm isolating pretty much. You know why you feel sad about your breakup with your boyfriend. Oh no, I'm sorry. He's my best friend. Maybe I should call not an entirely healthy relationship. How do I do this in a very short reading? Let's start with overall advice. I'm kind of getting like this was a good decision. Yes, I got Pegasus. This is such a pretty card. Break free, dear one, spread wide and far, for you aren't containable, you are limitless. And I'm kind of hearing, Karen, like, if that's your coping mechanism, that's okay. You know, if you need to isolate for a little while, take care of yourself, you are allowed to. It will, I'm hearing, this will not last forever. The nature of change is that it's always there. So there's going to be one day where you do feel like you want to get out, go socialize, move on. But that is a perfectly healthy, response. And I'm kind of hearing there's the temptation to reach back out because it will end this feeling of like, but it's only going to get you back to where you, and I mean, you even said, it's not healthy. So this to me is first validating the way you're having to handle this. It is okay. You are allowed to take baby steps. I think they just want you to know that half of this is beating yourself up because you think you're supposed to be just happy and perfect, but that doesn't happen. When you leave somebody of a relationship that long, it's not going to get better overnight, Yes. Okay. Here's why this is good. Is because in the past, this relationship was the devil. And not in a bad way. The devil card is really about chaining yourself to fear, chaining yourself to unhealthy habits, unhealthy people, and thinking that you can't get away. And you were strong enough to realize that you could take those chains off, that you could walk away from the devil. And I'm not calling him a devil at all. But you could walk away from a situation that no longer served you. And I think it really came from a spot of realizing, no, I want more. I have a higher potential. You saw this glimmer of what the future could be, and you took a step towards it. And the fact that you got the Queen of Cups right smack dab in the middle, this to me says that this is going to be such an emotionally great decision. You did the inner work. You're kind of in the middle of doing the work again, dealing with the lack of this person. But this decision came from a need for better emotional contentment, better just relationships, better. I just feel like you weren't happy there, obviously. And this is the new version of you. This is probably my second favorite card in this deck. I've connected so much with the Queen of Cups energy through this picture alone. I think the artwork is fantastic. But look at her. She's like somebody who doesn't she doesn't take no for an answer. She puts herself first. She doesn't care about what anyone thinks. She is emotionally happy. Like I need better words for this. That's how you came to this decision. This is where you're fighting to remember why it was a good reason. But the thing is if you stick with it, the choices, the amount of things that are going to come out of this, you're going to have so many more opportunities that might not even be surrounding relationships because you stood up for yourself and demanded more, and because of that, you're going to manifest more opportunities that would not have been there if you would have held on to this energy, if that makes sense. Good decision. Stick with it, even though the emotions are hard. But I'm really getting that was made from that decision was made from a place of strength. So don't go back, unless I'm totally getting it off. And then, so that was Karen's donation. You also got the member reading as well. So let's see what your second question is, if you have one. I know, silly rabbit. I mean, ultimately, it comes from their own projections, it's just, a lot of times I get so many troll comments you guys don't even know. And a lot of times I'm like, ha, that's funny, and I delete it. And then other times if I'm just not in the right space, it gets you. True, I won't. Okay, well, Karen, you have the member reading as well. If you have another question, I think while I wait though, I'll do one free reading. I'm just making sure nobody else donated. I swear, every time I get on live, all my friends, all my family, that's when I get messages. That's when I hear from them, right when I'm live. No regrets when I left the job as a therapist working at a clinic life. All right. Okay. I am thinking of a color. If you can think of the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. Deeper friends, not just acquaintances. What? I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, that's your question? That's your question. Red, silly rabbit, you got it. I didn't eat silly rabbit. Let me know what your question is. We'll do another one when we catch up. And while I wait for silly rabbit, I will do Karen's question. Deeper friends, not just acquaintances. Gosh, I've been through this myself lately. I'm thinking about making a podcast about it. I haven't made a podcast in a while because I kind of wait for inspiration to hit. I let my guides come in and tell me what I should talk about. If there's anything you guys want to know about, I'm happy to make a podcast on it. Okay, Karen, deeper friends. I'll just pull 3 of these cards. All right. Ooh, okay. I love these. So Karen, I got milk and butter, and this again is kind of like the card of abundance, of realizing what is working out for you. So even if you feel like you have absolutely no friends right now, find the positives and be grateful for anything. Be grateful for the fact that you could meet friends because of the internet. Be grateful. I mean, even for this, there are some people in here tonight that could potentially be friends. Find the bits of gratitude and hold on to them, because that is where you start to bring more abundance in. And that's kind of like, for my own story, that's where I shifted too. Like, if you guys listen to my Saturn Return podcast, I kind of let go of my last best friend. It was about this time last year. And I really was just down in the dumps and being like, oh, I have no friends now. But then I realized, I have a lot of people online that could be friends. It's just that my perspective is that I don't have friends. But it's not true. Like, there's actually a lot of people that want to have that relationship that, it just looks different than what I expected. And this month I've been reaching out. I've been a lot braver trying to make connections because of that. I've got a collaboration coming up that's in the works. Also meeting another YouTuber when I head out to Florida in September. Just gonna go meet her and have a drink. Met with Jana in person. So trying to put myself out there a little bit more, it can be a little bit scary. But again, focusing on what is working, even if it's not exactly what you had imagined, is great. Oh, and I will say, if anyone wants to manifest deeper friends as well, what's her name? The witch, that Mia Magic, MIA, and I don't know if she spells magic weird, but she's a big witchy YouTuber. You might have to DM me for the link, but she did a collaboration with somebody else, and it was on that other person's channel. But they did a video on how to manifest your BFFs, and they basically walked you through a bunch of journal prompts to kind of manifest your BFFs, and I took the time to do that. I think that's actually super helpful. It just gets you into the headspace of where you should be to attract that. And I'm kind of extending on this because I feel like actually multiple people need to hear this. And then the last 2 cards I pulled for you, Karen, was Bonfire and Maypole. And I'm literally getting with both of these that trying to get out when you're ready. Don't go out when you're not feeling good, because you're not going to put out the best version of yourself, the most authentic version of yourself. to me, this is like, Maypole is like literally an event where you go to meet people, bonfires. Like the whole energy behind this is like people gathering over a common interest. So honestly, Karen, like signing up for a metaphysical class, looking up, I'm part of witchy groups, even though I'm not a witch, because those people kind of believe in the same-ish things. And because of that, I feel like we would get along. So it's kind of about putting yourself in the groups where you can meet people when you're ready. We're just seeing if there's anything more with these cards. I need to get to know them a little bit more because they're like poems on the front, and some of them like make sense, but others like I need to go pick up the book for that. I love these cards, and they're pretty new too. They have Beltane, they have a Samhain one, and then they've got a Yule one as well. So you could get one for each Sabbath. The only one they don't have though is Letha, which is the summer solstice, but I thought is interesting. Maybe it's still in the works, but I kind of want to have one for each Sabbath now. All right. Okay, and then we had Silly Rabbit guessed red. So she gets the next reading. Yes, more friends is hard. Maybe this is a sign that I need to do a podcast on that also, because I was literally just asking for podcast questions. Yeah, I want some good friends too. Well, hey, that Discord that I told you guys about, start there. I want to say my psychic development Facebook group could also be that, but a lot of people don't post. I need people to post outside of me. I had something else I wanted to say, though. Yes, I have so many internet friends. I know, and that's like, you want to be like, oh, well, they're not really friends, but in a lot of ways, they're more friends than some of the people that you have in your life. And I think the key is to try to meet up with the ones that you can if they're in your area or if you're going somewhere else. But obviously not all of us have that privilege and luxury. So it's about finding the groups so that you can expose yourself. And that's one thing, is finding local groups. So like I joined again like a Colorado witchy group on Facebook. I'm not a witch, but like it's similar, and through that I was able to find local events, also going to like stores, metaphysical stores, and finding classes and meeting people in those classes. First start with like the place that you want to be, and then go into the group setting. Because if you're like, oh, I want to make friends, I'm going to go out to the bar, and if you're not a bar going person, you don't want to make those types of friends, if that makes sense. Check Meetup, check Facebook groups, search in your area, Colorado, California, yada, yada. But again, Chloe's Discord, that's kind of one thing. I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but that's one thing I feel like we don't quite have. Like, we have this community on our live nights, but it stops here, which is kind of why I was like, oh, wouldn't that be nice if we had a Discord? And I think a lot of people didn't know how to use it, so we ended up making a Facebook group instead. But again, like, not a whole lot of people participate. I don't know. But hopefully we can figure that out for you all. And that's another thing that I tried to do, is if I didn't find a group, I was trying to make one. So like recently on my Instagram, I tried to be like, hey, Colorado people specifically, if you want to hang out with me, like we're going to put all of our names in this bucket. And that was something that I initiated. Sometimes you have to be the one to start it. Gad's poverty mentality on that one. Oh, I was like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, thank you, Goldie. I want to make sure that on Patreon you guys feel like it's worth what you're getting. But I know how that is when you only have so many people on there. Obviously, you're going to get less people talking, chatting. It's just, the natural number of the numbers. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And I have to remember that, because like even when I started, there was only like 4 people watching me, less comments, less engagement. Doesn't mean what I'm doing is wrong. It's just I have less eyeballs and less people engaging, if that makes sense. Okay, Silly Rabbit's question. A message from my guides that they want me to know whatever helpful advice I need to hear. Lots of changes and decisions coming up. Okay. I'm getting cold now. I need to go shut that unit, the AC unit off. Ooh. This guy is sexy. Look at his leg. Sun God. Come now, expand into the skies and into the shadows below. I'm gonna look this one up. But I'm immediately hearing like Leo season specifically with this. I feel like things are gonna be a lot more cleared up at the end of this month. Or like if the month started now, by next month you're gonna be feeling a lot more clear on things. Okay. I'm just going to read this. The sun god is the ultimate expression of masculine energy, representing structure, authority, respect, and status. This is the card of the leader and represents all of the qualities that make someone a force to be reckoned with. Your situation requires a strong hand and systemic approach. The sun god does not allow his emotions to cloud his judgment, and neither should you. Communicate with clear logic and reason and demonstrate your mastery and intellect. Any others involved in your situation will respect you for your ability to get right down to the heart of the matter. So to me, this is being like very logical, very Virgo, very masculine, just again, pulling all emotions away from it. If you find that anytime you're trying to make decisions around all the decisions that you need to make, it's making sure that there's no emotions. And if those emotions start to come up, say, what, I'm going to come back to this later. I really need to be like pros and cons, analytics, numbers, like think that kind of energy. And then with the goat card that I got, fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. And I kind of feel like, honestly, that mantra should just be your takeaway. Fearless I am in the path I choose, for I've never been led astray, always finding my way. This to me is like confidence in the decision that you made and knowing that even though you can't see the future, it's trusting that it's going to be okay. And I think right now, maybe some of the stress is coming from the doubt of like, did I make the right decision? I don't even know. This is interesting to me because I feel like this message is also for my husband. And I'm kind of hearing like a lot of us are just so in our emotions over the last month, and kind of to combat it, we just need to like pull back from the emotions, just be analytic for a bit. That has its purpose. It's serving its purpose right now to move us forward. Is there anything else I want to say about this? This goat just has like, he's got the moon above him and he's got like an eye on his third eye. This to me is just trusting your intuition and understanding that your intuition can't always see exactly how it's going to play out. But as long as the steps that you're taking in between is in alignment with that path you chose, then you're going to be okay. So I think overall, you guys are just saying trust yourself and have confidence, silly rabbit. And it's going to be A-okay. Yes, I noticed if I go out, I meet so many nice people that make me smile. Oh, that's awesome. It's so important to appreciate those interactions, friendship. See, and this makes me want to have a space where we can continue our conversations after our live night. If anyone has any suggestions on where to do that, like obviously a lot of you guys message me through Instagram, but there's no group thing besides Facebook. But oh, that is such a great idea. I missed the idea. This is just what I needed tonight. Oh, I'm glad. Awesome. Okay. I think we're caught up. Let's do, how long have I been on? Let's do another 2 free readings. I've been getting like a little bit sore throaty, and I think that's because It's so hot here in Colorado, so I've been having to run the AC a lot, and I think it's making me really dried out, and I'm kind of fighting just that like throat sickness. You know what I mean? Oh wow, you already got another job interview lined up. That's awesome. It's been so hot. I'm so ready for it to be done with. Although I'm like, I want to appreciate and enjoy summer while it lasts, but I'm already getting those fall vibes. Just like very, very every now and then. Not quite there yet. Once I hit the fall vibes of needing to pull out the Halloween decorations, it's like go time. Okay. 2 more live readings. Free readings, I should say. What? Okay, this might be too broad, but we're just going to go with it. I am thinking of a Disney character. If you can think of the Disney character that I'm thinking of, I'm sending it to you clairvoyantly. Then you get the reading. Walk the trails. Oh, yeah. Oh, we had some nice trails here. And I'll help narrow it down. He's a boy. And I'll help narrow it down again because I realize this is huge. This is a huge margin. This is also a character that you see more towards like little kids. Little kids. Winnie the Pooh! You got it! Winifred! Oh, you probably went there because of your name. Winifred, you got it. So Winifred, let me know what your question is. I'm going to jump up really quick and turn off this unit because it's so cold. Winnie the Pooh. The reason I just thought of it because I got this in Japan. It's so cute. First of all, it's like a magnet. So it's a magnet. It says Winnie the Pooh. And then it holds washi tape. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's my Winnie the Pooh washi tape. And I have it on my lamp here. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I'm not lagging. Okay. Winifred. Okay, yes, thank you. What messages do my guides have for me tonight? That's so cute. I know. Japan, just like, they literally have stores of stationery. It's just rows and rows of the cutest stationery, pens, pencils, tapes, just so many cute things. I literally could spend hours in there. Almost every store had a section of stationery stuff. Japan is like an introvert's dream, honestly. I think that's why I loved it so much. And if you all want to see my trip to Japan, that's actually on this channel. I uploaded it. It's back. You have to scroll back to 2019, but it's there. Like, made a whole vlog. No, it was like a montage vlog. I can't remember. Ooh, okay. So Winifred, you got inner power. Let it be known, no will or desire is more powerful than I, embodied. I'm going to pull a card for this one. I'm kind of immediately getting that this is saying, like, when I set my mind to something, when I'm confident, when I want to manifest something, anything, when I have that inner power, nothing can get in my way. Like, that's kind of this energy. And this is a witch deck, so it kind of has witchy themes to it. Magic is more than a wave of the hand or a chant of words. It's a state of being. Magic is what happens when you are so settled into your power that light radiates from your soul. You shine so bright that the universe sees itself reflected in you. To be a great manifester, you must allow your magic to unfold within your spirit without limitation or hesitation. And this is kind of saying you're holding back. You're kind of holding back from this inner power. Maybe you believe that you can't have it, or you just have day-to-day things going on that make you feel like you aren't allowed. I'm hearing a couple things with this, Winifred. One is like, if you're interested in the witchy things, like maybe look it up. I feel like there's something about magic itself that might super resonate with you. Overall, I just feel like a new perspective needs to like come in with how you look at yourself and what you can and can't do in your life. And maybe even like a solar plexus meditation, something about your inner confidence, because like you're getting help from the universe, but I feel like you don't always see it because maybe you're just like, oh, that's not for me, or I'm not allowed to have that. One more card. I just want to make sure I'm getting this message in full. I got surrender to the divine, but it was in reverse. And this to me kind of says you don't have to wait around for things to magically just work out for you. You can demand that they work out for you. You can expect it to, and it can come in. I think they're really trying to get you in touch with this inner power so that you can connect with it and manifest the things that you want. Anything, and I'm trying to like, it's like, where could she start? What resources can she have? And it's almost like something about magic for sure. If that's not in your wheelhouse, it could just be learning about manifesting in general, looking up books on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's like your tarot birth card. Like we all have tarot birth cards. You can like figure that out with numerology. Gem Goddess did a video on it recently of how to figure out your tarot birth card, and mine is also the Magician. Winifred, I feel like they're trying to introduce this idea of manifestation and how powerful it can be, and you're just opening up the door is like kind of what I'm getting. I never thought of you as an introvert. Oh yeah, I am a big introvert. Not online. I channel this like extrovert energy for sure, but in person. Well, I'm an extroverted introvert. I know how to play the part, but like when I'm drained, I'm done. You know what I mean? Alrighty. And I guess that's not true. When I was in high school and previously, I was very extroverted, but I think it was because I was taught to be that way. And then I realized later in life, I'm more comfortable being an introvert. Awesome. You're welcome, Winifred. Let's do one last guessing game. Oh, I'm thinking of an animal. If you can think of the animal that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. I need my chapstick. It's in my pocket. I always put it in my pocket and then it melts by the end of the night. Bam! Jana, you got it. Tiger. And Jana, I was literally looking at the tiger picture that's on my wall. That's how I that's how I come up with these things. I'm just looking around for ideas. So even though Jana donated, I let you have one free reading on top of that. So after Jana, we'll probably cut it off for donations only. Just because I can tell my throat. I can mentally, emotionally go longer, but my throat is just like already like, no. I got a new water bottle today. There's something about it. And I put we're going to Disney in like 50 days, y'all. And I got my sticker in the mail. They give this out like as like the, I don't know, introductory welcome packet. Like you're coming soon. I got that sticker. And then this is actually a sticker that came with the Chromatic Fates tarot. So it says Chromatic Fates. I don't know why the hummingbird is a symbol because there's no hummingbirds on the deck. And then this sticker, it says self-love is the best love. And this is actually what I got from somebody who swapped tarot decks with me. They sent me a sticker and a crystal along with it, which was like super sweet. They didn't have to do that. What? LOL. Christopher Robin. I wonder if Goldie's behind. Are you watching live, Goldie? You might be watching like 10 seconds behind. I don't know. I guess I'll do a typical question. Who are my guides? Ooh. And I do feel like, to the second part of your question, sometimes when life is crazy, it's very hard to connect to your guides. Side note, but like my guides are getting after me because I've been wanting this deck that's literally called like gods, goddesses, and something else. I have my channel wish list, but it's literally just a deck full of all the different types of like guides. Not all of them, but a lot of the popular ones. And they're mad at me because they're like, Lauren, one of her guides is in that book. If you would have had it, you could have pulled it. But I can't. I will push myself into poverty if I just buy all the tarot decks I want. it would be bad. Let me see if I can pick up. But I'm getting like definitely like a human of some sort, Jana. But you've also definitely got like elementals or some other. Does she? Okay. Well, so I said elementals, and then I immediately got dryads, which I don't know a whole lot about. But I want to say they're Celtic in origin. But who's the... You've definitely got a god and a goddess. And I'm hearing like the god... I want to go with Apollo. Is that right? He's kind of giving me like a yes, but not right now. Like, if you tried to connect with him now, you wouldn't really feel that impact. That might be somebody you like connect to later. The goddess, and I think this is why they're grumpy at me, because I'm not remembering the name. And she's not Greek, she's something else. She's like Native American, or maybe not American, but like I'm seeing her. I don't know her name. Is she the one on the cover? No. I'm going to have to go get that deck. Okay, here. We're going to ask, though, what they represent. But you definitely got, like, both a god and a goddess, and they work in tandem, is what I'm hearing, Jana. Almost like brotherly, sisterly energy, but they're not actually, like, from the same place. I'm getting like a lot of guides for you, but they all seem like far away. And I think that's because that's your relationship with them. And they're ready to connect with you, but they're also like, they know that it's chaotic right now. It's kind of like the message that I'm getting. So I asked what the male represents. Protection. Energetic protection, but it's not Michael. I just checked. Michael's like a pretty popular one. I am feeling Apollo. There's something about him. Maybe learning a little bit about him, because I kind of feel like this like haughty like energy that he has is something that you feel like you can't have, and it comes across as arrogance, and you feel like, you know, being arrogant or looking that way at all would just be like not okay. But there's like a quality of that kind of demands power, and more so says, I don't care what other people think. I don't put such importance on other people's things that like Apollo has for you. And then I asked what the woman goddess is about, and I got abundance, like the Empress. And I'm just double checking. Is she the Empress? Because like, why not? But I kind of heard no. Whoever she is, she represents bringing in abundance. And, you know, the fact that they work together, like I'm kind of hearing like you want to bring in good things, you want to have abundance, but there's this issue of like maybe when you start to attract those things, it brings up these feelings of arrogance, feelings of haughtiness, that maybe you're asking for too much. And there's this balance that definitely needs to be struck between the two of their energies, which is why I think those two are coming through predominantly. I would just look up dryads too and just see. They're telling me like they're more of like a meditative connection, like more somebody to talk to when you're meditating and just want to ground and get centered. Less like, oh, what are these big answers to my questions, you know? Yes, what are those? I think they are Greek in origin. I'm not sure. No, maybe they're Celtic. I do know that the book, which I don't have up here, it was in my nighttime routine video. It was like the Greek mythology book. I don't know too much about them off the top of my head, but they're creatures that live in the forest, and they are kind of elemental forest beings that kind of look like trees or plants. And honestly, dryads were one of the first guides that came through for me. I'm trying to remember anything else about them, but I can't. You'll have to look it up. Sorry. Alrighty, you guys. I think I'm like KO'd. It's more my throat. I think I've been just like super drying myself out with all the AC units I've been running, and then on top of talking, my throat is like killing me. And if I remember to, Jan, I'll try to remember to send it to you. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope Leo season treats you well. Remember, again, that those pre-made readings are going to be coming your way. So you'll see a bunch of those. Again, I'll probably throw it up on Instagram when all my ideas are actually up. And then I think that's it. This week's video I'm doing the video that we actually like came up with last live night, and that is the difference between tarot, oracle, and Lenormand. So that is going to be this week's video. I just happened to film it in my next chunk, and it's at the top of my list. I don't know what next week's is going to be. Again, I filmed half of them, filming the other half this Friday. So we're going to have a bunch of new ones. And I'm probably going to take a break after that to film my courses. Hopefully you won't see much of a break on your end. But I'll let you guys know, keep you updated. And you can keep in contact on our Facebook group. You can also practice your psychic abilities there. Again, Patreon is another place that you can join to get extra content. That might be fun to join, especially while I'm on a break. Also on Instagram. And then, podcast as well, if you want to catch up there. Yes, I am live. You were just reading the old answers. Oh, gotcha. All right. Good night, everyone. I think that's it. Normally I like to hang out for a bit, but like my throat is done. Guys, have a great rest of your night. I don't think is next week. I think next week is our member live, correct? Yeah, holy cow, it's already the last week of the month next week. So next Tuesday is going to be our member live. So I will see you members there in that live. Anyone is welcome to join that. You just hop on over to Patreon to sign up. And then I think I will see you all the following week, which will be the 2nd of August. Alrighty, have a great night, everyone. I will see you next time. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but whatever. Bye.